Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Indian has just released an entire new lineup of Indian Scout bikes listed as 2025 models. We're going to go through all the details, comparing their current 2024 lineup with the new lineup, so stick around. In the current lineup, we have 7 Scout bikes, 3 with a 60 cubic engine and 4 with a 69 cubic engine. Prices range from $10,750 up to $15,650. Those 7 bikes are the Scout Bobber 60, Scout Rogue 60, Scout 60, Scout Bobber, Scout Rogue, Scout Bobber 20, and the Scout. Now in the new 2025 lineup, we have 8 bikes to choose from. Still 3 bikes with the 60 cubic engine, but Indian has done away with the 69 cubic engine and replaced it with a 76 cubic engine for the other 5 bikes. With these being 2025 models, I'm not sure when they will be available at the dealers, but you can reserve yours now from the website. I'm hoping they'll have them available for the summer demo rides, but I'm not convinced they'll be in production by then. So let's see what changed with this new lineup. We're going to skip the Scout 60 bikes because they haven't changed at this point. You can see those details in my 2024 Indian lineup video. Let's start with the new engine. Indian is calling this new engine the Speed Plus 1250. 1250cc, of course. This engine is liquid cooled and looks similar to the Power Plus engine that is on the Challenger series. That engine is liquid cooled as well. The Speed Plus 1250 has 82 foot-pounds of torque, which is 10 more foot-pounds of torque than the 1133cc engine on the current version of Scouts. 4 of the 5 bikes have 105 horsepower, which is only 5 more horsepower than the current models. We'll discuss the 5th bike later on. It has different horsepower specs. One of the other most notable changes is the gas tank. A tiny bit larger, the tank on these is now 3.4 gallons instead of 3.3. The corners of the tank are slightly more rounded on these bikes. Another notable change is the exhaust. These now have a 2-into-1 exhaust instead of the dual pipes on the current models. The seat height on these bikes stays consistent between 25.6 and 25.7 inches depending on the model. Indian is now offering different trim options on the new Scouts. Instead of just having ABS and non-ABS with different colors, we have color and trim combinations. In the same way that you have the Challenger Base, Challenger Dark Horse, Challenger Limited, Challenger Elite, the Scouts have a base trim, limited trim, and limited plus tech trim. The base trim is fairly similar to the current models, but with some added features. They now have a fuel gauge. ABS and LED are standard across the board as well. Those are welcome updates, I think, to put on the base models. The limited trim includes riding modes, a USB charging port, cruise control, and traction control. Imagine that, cruise control and traction control on an Indian Scout. The limited plus tech trim includes all of the above, as well as keyless ignition, a 4-inch round digital display powered by Ride Command with all kinds of vehicle info such as GPS, Bluetooth connection, etc. So that covers all of the major differences from the existing Scouts. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick around. Coming up next, we'll talk through the colors and pricing for each model. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and like. I appreciate your support. Okay, let's start with the Scout Bobber. Typical bobbed fenders and 16-inch wheels with big tires on this. These are all blacked out with low bars and bar end mirrors. Actually, all the new Scouts have bobbed fenders, except for the Scout Classic. The Scout Bobber also now has a headlight nacelle. The base model only comes in black and MSRP is $13,000. The non-ABS 2024 base model was less expensive, but the ABS model was slightly more than $13,000, so technically this is a bit of a drop in price. The Scout Bobber Limited comes in 3 colors, black, black smoke, and red, ranging in price from $13,700 to $14,200. The Scout Bobber Limited Plus Tech comes in 5 colors, black, black smoke, bronze, blue, and red, ranging from $14,700 to $15,700. Next up is the Sport Scout. This is basically the replacement for the Scout Rogue. The Sport Scout has 6-inch handlebar risers and a quarter fairing on the front, as well as a 19-inch front wheel. It is also blacked out with bar and mirrors. Base option again only comes in black, price is $13,500. The Limited comes in 4 colors, black, black smoke, blue, and bronze. ranging from 14,200 to 14,700. The Limited Plus Tech comes in the same 4 colors and ranges from 15,200 to 15,700. Moving up to the Scout Classic. The Scout Classic basically replaces the current Scout. The only thing different here is that it has spoked wire wheels instead of cast wheels. Otherwise, it's basically the same as the current Scout model. Big swooped fenders and chromed out. This bike definitely has that heritage look to it. The base model comes in black and costs $14,000. The Limited comes in only 2 colors, black and silver quartz smoke, costing $14,700 or $15,200. The Limited Plus Tech comes in 4 colors, black, silver quartz smoke, white metallic with the black trim on it, and red metallic. Prices range from $15,700 to $16,700. Next is the Super Scout. In the same way that the Chief has a touring model called the Super Chief, we now have a touring model of the Scout called the Super Scout. As far as comparing this to the old model, it's probably closest to the Scout 20 with the 2-tone exhaust and the spoked wire wheels. Other than that, it's fairly unique. It comes with a passenger seat and pegs, saddlebags, and a quick release windshield. Because this is designed to be a lightweight touring bike, it only comes in the Limited Plus Tech trim to give you the extra features that help with longer rides, such as GPS. It comes in 3 colors, black, black smoke, and maroon. The black smoke and maroon come with graphics on the tank. Prices range from $16,500 to $17,000. Those are the 4 models that replace the current 4 standard Scout models. But Indian is introducing a brand new model, the 101 Scout. The 101 Scout name is a throwback to the late 1920s when Indian built the original Scout 101. The original Scout 101 only ran from 1928 to 1931, but it was incredibly popular at the time as a high-performance bike. The Indian Scouts were already quite popular as high-performance bikes at the time, but some consider the Scout 101 to be the best motorcycle ever made in all time for its time. So in honor of that, Indian brings out the 101 Scout. This bike comes retuned from the factory, boosting the horsepower on the Speed Plus engine up to 111 horsepower. It has a quarter fairing, bar end mirrors, and is blacked out. It comes with dual front brake discs, piggyback rear shocks, adjustable forks, and Brembo brakes. It also only comes with a Limited Plus Tech trim and comes in 2 colors. Cost is $17,000 for both colors. That is it for the details on the 2025 Scout models. I'm curious on what you think. Leave a comment below. I used to own a Scout before upgrading to a touring bike. Actually, it was only 11 months ago, I think, that I traded in my Scout. I like these improvements a lot. Standard ABS and LED lights is a good improvement. Having the option to add cruise control is great as well. One comment about the Super Chief. I had a windshield and saddlebags on my Scout, and I took that bike on a 4-hour ride that was almost entirely highway riding, and I would not recommend it as a touring bike at all. I did not enjoy that 4-hour ride very much. Maybe if you're doing a lot of back roads and things like that, it would be more enjoyable. But for me personally, the bike is just too small for long stretches of highway riding. That might just be me. I know there are people out there who do touring on Scouts. That's great for them. It wasn't my cup of tea. Anyway, normally in this part of the video, I would talk about Harley and how they compare. But I'm not going to really bother with that at this point because there really isn't much of anything in the Harley lineup that feels like a direct competitor to the Indian Scouts. Maybe the Harley Nightster, but even that feels like a different animal. So we're going to skip that part. So thanks everybody for watching. Stay safe. See you on the next one. God bless.